Hello. Next season, Legend of My Ass is going to be getting Trench Barrel on its catalyst as well as other perks. Trench Barrel increases the damage of a weapon by 50% after you get a melee hit for 3 shots or 5 seconds. Keep in mind that Legend of Acrius is almost already meta, so I did a shit ton of damage testing to see if it will be meta. I ended up doing 4 different tests. The first one is Izzy and Rocket combo, the second one is Linear and Wither Hoard combo, 2 of the standard meta combos currently, and then the third and fourth one are both to do with Legend of Acrius. The first one is just the normal Legend of Acrius with Trench Barrel applied, or theoretically applied, we don't actually have it yet. And the second one is the exact same test again, but with extra reload and handling, because fun fact, Legend of Acrius has 0 handling and 10 reload. And here are the DPS numbers. I tested 10 seconds and 20 seconds of DPS, and it says for itself. Legend of Acrius is very fucking good. Like, really fucking good. And the enhanced version definitely shows that it can get even better using dex and reload mods. It also shows that the weapon is actually extremely consistent. If you look in the Izzy and Linear numbers, you'll see that the DPS actually drops off when you reach 20 seconds. But with Legend of Acrius, this does not happen, and it actually gains damage, which is interesting, but you know. This is mainly because Legend of Acrius is a shell-loaded shotgun, and shotguns are quite notorious for having extremely consistent DPS numbers. But yeah, as you can see, really fucking good, and with enhanced, it's breaching 100k DPS, which is a fucking huge milestone. However, I do have one thing that I have to say about this. 2 things I lied. First off, this is purely assuming that Trench Barrel on Legend of Acrius is actually going to be a 50% damage buff, because it's quite realistic, considering these fucking DPS numbers, that it will be something along the lines of 25% or 10% even. I really hope it's not 10%. But if it is genuinely 50%, this is going to be fucking amazing. And the second thing is to do with how I actually got these numbers in the first place. These numbers are calculated and were not proven in game. Basically, for how I got these numbers, I would record a first clip of how much damage each weapon would do in a single shot, and we're talking its absolute max damage, headshots and all. Then I record a second clip of me doing the damage combos in question here. After that, I would skim through the clips and time them for their 10 and 20 second marks, and then I would see how many times I shot in those 10 and 20 second marks. Obviously, using the amount of times I shot and the amount of damage per shot, I could calculate how much damage I actually did in those 10 and 20 second intervals, and then using that total damage number in general, I calculated the DPS from it. Basically, what this means as a whole is that these numbers probably won't be too accurate in game. I expect the Izzy and the Linear numbers to be quite accurate, since their combos are kind of hard to fuck up. However, Legend of Acrius is a shotgun, meaning some pellets could sometimes miss or just not hit at all. That's the same fucking thing. But yeah, you get the point. The only way I could realistically see you getting this Legend of Acrius DPS is if you were using a div bubble or just hitting something with a big ass crit spot. That way all of the pellets will always hit the targets, so it remains consistent. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Now, in terms of total damage numbers though, it does get a little more interesting. I tested all 3 different reserve sizes, and PS, before you test, you cannot stack 3 reserve mods on top of each other, only 2. But yeah, Izzy Rocket's definitely the lowest here by just being shy of 1.5 million at max reserve mods. And Legend of Acrius is fucking cooking it at max reserve mods with 2 million in total. That's genuinely amazing. And then of course, Linears are just taking the absolute piss, because they will never be beaten in terms of total damage. You will just never beat them. But yeah, other than that, there's not really much more interesting to say about this, other than Legend of Acrius will be very good, but do remember though, it's still gonna be inconsistent as fuck, and also its range is like 2 fucking feet in front of you. Other than that though, that's about it. See ya.